This shed used to be completely unusable in the winter. If I didn't have the heater on turbo all day, I couldn't see the monitor for the clouds of breath. And in the summer, it was a sauna. But after a lot of DIY and a game-changing desk upgrade, it's now my perfect creative studio. Let me show you how I transformed it. Welcome to the greatly improved shed. As I say, it hasn't always looked like this. It's been standing a few years now after me and my dad built it from flat pack. I had a concrete base poured to get it properly level, and then it all slots together from there. Yeah, of course it does. It's actually the third one I've built. They don't get any easier. It's always a challenge, but it's always been worth doing because I had a vision, you see. A cosy, creative space that I could work in all year round, except it didn't quite turn out that way. During the build, we'd insulated the floor and the ceiling quite badly, but we'd stupidly neglected to insulate the walls, which is obviously where most of the heat dissipates. So like I say, in the winter, it was a fridge. In the summer, it was a sweatbox. Not what I had in mind at all. But in this video, I'll show you how I transformed it into a warm, inspiring studio that I love and actually want to work in. And I'll share a few tips in case you're thinking about doing something similar. So yeah, when I moved my work out here, I thought I'd finally have the perfect place to focus. Somewhere I could breathe and be as productive as possible. And the dining table could only cut it for so long. Yet within weeks of winter coming, I realised it wasn't going to be the dream office I'd dreamed of. I'd sit here in my coat, my hat, gloves, scarf, fucking snow boots, and still struggle to stay warm. The warmth from the heater was disappearing quicker than a TV host after a misconduct allegation. I knew that if I wanted to make this space usable all year round, insulation had to be top priority. And so enter YouTube. I watched many YouTube videos, let me tell you, learned the basics of shed insulation, bought the materials, sealed up every damn draft I could find, and that expanding spray foam stuff is like worth its weight in gold. It was messy, it was awkward at times, it was a right raw pain in the arse sometimes, but I knew I had to be meticulous because it would make a big difference. And somewhere deep down, a little bit of me was enjoying it. I put up all the stud work around the walls, filled it with 25mm PIR foam board with foil backing. I used 50mm insulation for the roof. Some say you should go 50mm for the walls as well, but I was on a budget big time. Once the insulation was in, the change was like noticeable pretty much straight away. The shed went from being cold and a bit echoey and feeling like, you know, a shed, to warm and quiet. It was starting to feel like an actual room. Suddenly I could work and still feel my toes, and I didn't need to have the heater blasting out all day. Once all the basics were sorted, I could double down on making it feel like a proper space. And I figured a sit-stand desk would be the icing on what was becoming a nice warm cake. After loads of research, I went with this FlexiSpot from Amazon, the cheapest electric desk I could find online. And to keep the cost down, I bought it without a worktop. Instead, I used the scaffold boards left over from the concrete base. They just needed a proper sanding down and screwing together. I used 3 for the main desk and another one for the monitor shelf. And as it happens, I had enough boards left over to make some shelving too, so yep, double result, saved a few more quid. I've got a herniated disc in my lower back from an old gym injury years ago. It's pinged on me like 5 times in about 15 years now. And when it goes, it can be pretty grim. I'm walking around at like a 45-degree angle for about a week or so, popping painkillers all day. No fun at all. But this desk has been a total game changer. I work standing up for at least half the day now, and it's made a huge difference to my back and my overall energy. During lockdown, when it was way too cold to work out here, I bought a slot together standing kit that sat on top of the dining table. Hats off to Stag and Bear. I still have it here, but eventually I bit the bullet and went all in on a proper electric sit-stand desk, and I haven't looked back. Before I had it, I spent way too much time sitting hunched over my iPad or my MacBook, and it creeps up in you, doesn't it? Like that back pain, tight shoulders, stiff neck. But standing for part of the day, like a good part of the day, has changed all of that. And it's not just about avoiding pain, it's about energy levels too. When I'm standing up, I naturally move more, shift my weight a lot. It keeps me more alert. And with just one button, I can raise the desk up or drop it down if I want to sit down and take a break. Because it's electric, it's smooth and quick, which means I actually use it. I looked at one of those hand crank style ones that IKEA do one, but I'm so glad I went electric. It's just easy. A couple of things I've learned. First, don't stand all day from the start. You know, begin with like 20 or 30 minutes and build it up from there. Second, posture matters. Keep your screen at eye level, shoulders relaxed. I roll my neck and shoulders quite often to try and stop everything from stiffening up. And third, and I've literally only just bought this today, ordered one today, it's, I'd heard good things about them, an anti-fatigue mat. I'd heard is a must-have, so I've got that and it should be arriving later. For me, it's not just about health, it's about productivity. When I stand, I feel more engaged, more awake, more focused. If I'm feeling knackered, like I'm about to nod off, sitting down working, I'll whack it up to standing mode, and it gives me a bit of that boost that I need. And it's frictionless also, being able to jump between like drawing, grabbing a book, moving around the room. It's added like a bit of a rhythm to my day that I definitely never had, you know, when you're stuck in a chair all day. Although I do still find it quite funny that my Apple Watch tells me to stand up even if I've been doing it for like an hour. Worst PT ever. Honestly, I think this desk has been just as important as insulating the shed. The insulation's made it a comfortable space, but the desk has made it sustainable to work here like every day. I've dropped a link in the description if you want to check out this particular FlexiSpot desk. It's not an affiliate link or anything, I don't get anything from it, it's just there if you're interested. The journey isn't over for this shed. Now the inside's done and I'm happy with it, I'll either give the exterior another lick of waterproof paint, or I'm thinking about maybe getting it fully clad, so make it weatherproof for years to come. But ultimately, it's gone from a cold, uncomfortable box to a creative studio that I just love spending time in. If you're planning something similar, my biggest tips are insulate properly, seal up every gap. You'd be amazed how little drafts can get in here and there. And invest in a sit-stand desk. You've got one back, so look after it. I hope this has given you some ideas for your own creative space. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments, do you have a standing desk already? Or are you thinking about getting one? What's your dream workspace like? See you in the next video.